Yes, I'm eating a pancake. Don't even judge this manic energy I'm bringing you today. Hey loves, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to step into my past a little bit. So I basically used to do an art foundation course and I thought it'd be super fun to show you guys some of my old art. I rarely speak of it because I had a pretty crappy time on the course. It lasted for a year. I did it straight after my A-levels and I was at a really I'm not a very good uni, okay? It was so rubbish. And I hated it there. I wanted to drop out even though it was for only a year. I didn't even think I could get through that. And basically it stuck you in a room and it had 2 floors and it was quite open but it had no windows and you were just basically stationed at a desk and you had to work at that desk all day, 9 to 5. It was horrible. And then at the start of the course you'd do a month or so of work and then based off of that work that you'd done, which I didn't realise, you'd have a meeting with all the peers that were around you essentially and one of your lecturers, and they would decide what you would sort of specialise in. And I hated that because I'm a person that likes to do a bit of everything. I really enjoy just branching out, trying a few things, and I basically got pushed into doing fashion and textiles. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love fashion, but the lecturers that ran fashion were just really poor and they didn't encourage you or assist you or help you, and I feel like I had no guidance. It was really horrible and it played against all of my weaknesses, I feel, being on that course, which is such a shame because I used to love art. I do love fashion, I love print, I love all that sort of stuff, so it's a real shame that I didn't get on well there. However, the other day I was searching under the bed for some stuff and I found a few art books from my final project and I thought it'd be really fun to share that with you guys and let you see some of my art and my sketches and stuff, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna finish eating my pancake. I've got a holiday coffee. This is how you do. Okay guys, so these are the books from my final project. You had different projects throughout the course that you had to do, but they were mini projects, and then this was the bigger project that you was working on for a while. So the theme that I chose was Clockwork because I was really inspired by steampunk. The cogs and the keys and just mechanical things really interested me at this time, so that is why I decided to go for that as my final project. I'm one of these people that really struggles to pick a subject or something to focus their art on, so that is what I went for. Do I wish I chose something else? Yes. Do I know what I would have chose if I'd chose something else? Hell no. So I'm just going to start off with this book that's on the top. Sorry about the messy table, by the way. This is in our arts room, so it's very painty and messy. So as you can see, Clockwork was my theme. So this is when we went to Pitt Rivers Museum, and these are just some sketches that I did while I was there. One of the things they really did put emphasis on was preparing backgrounds for when you go to the museums to sketch on, and I find that actually really did help. So as you can see here, we've got some keys on a gold background and a nice blue background. I'd also established a relatively loose colour palette before doing this. So we've got some more keys, and on this side it's very light, so I don't know if you can see that, but it's just details of things. I really like looking at details and then using that in pattern. Again, sorry, it's really light because it's in pencil. So these are just different observational drawings that I did at the museum. Do you like my shrunken head? I don't know if you can really see that, but... So as you can see, I focused most of the content of this book on Clockwork. There's a lot of skulls and shrunken heads at Pitt Rivers. I believe that's where the inspiration for the shrunken head of Harry Potter come from. Style of my art is something that I've always struggled with, and I was hoping that going on this foundation course it would let me find my style a lot better, but I mean I found it really didn't help at all. If anything, it made it a lot worse and completely put me off art. I mean, I haven't seriously done art like this since this course because it just drove all the passion out of me, which is really sad actually. I really used to love art. More recently I've been getting back into it actually. I find that it's really been helping, especially like my mentality while we're in lockdown and stuff. But things like fashion, I mean, that's been increasingly growing. I've definitely become more interested in fashion and pattern. Like, it would be an absolute dream for me to be able to have like my own collection at one point, because after I finished my foundation degree, I really wanted to like design my own collection. The lecturers were very negative about my work. Yeah, throughout the course I was just constantly told that my art wasn't good enough, and you know, it was very much, you had to look a certain way, it was very clicky, and I didn't fit in with that. It just wasn't me. It really felt like I was just sort of ignored. So that's that one all done. That is from the Pitt Rivers Museum. And then the next one we have, so this is a sample book. So because I did fashion and textiles, you had to obviously make samples for your work. So I thought that was cute. So this was my samples. So I think I was definitely playing around with more print. However, I felt like I was pushed into making a garment. So that was my final piece, was a garment. But I really wanted to experiment with prints and different things, but I just felt like I wasn't encouraged. And yeah, I mean, if you're from the UK, the university that I went to was De Montfort University, and you've probably heard of it. It's not got a very good reputation. I'm just going to say that. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. It really upset me being there, and they just didn't offer any support. Anyway, enough with the heavy, let's talk about my art. So I was just playing around with some samples here, so different techniques of sewing, and then on here this is a piece of fabric where I was playing around with pattern and things like that. Again, different sewing techniques that I would eventually be using in my final piece. I always felt like I was never good at presentation with my work as well, so I just sort of lobbed it in the book and stuck it down. My passion really wasn't there. But yeah, another one. Different fabric samples. So again, I'm playing around with print. So this is basically a print of a clock picture with some vintage writing, and it's got a little bird over, but it's in the cog pattern that I was really interested in. So I thought that was really unique. And then on this side, just some cog pieces. I was playing around with staining some fabric, and then this would be really pretty to obviously do a design on. I was doing more pleat work. Again, different types of printing onto fabric. So this is just a plain black cog, but then I mixed the blue and the black for obviously tying into my colour palette. So that is all from that one. And then in our next book, so this is another place I visited. This is Abbey Pumping Station, and I've got my colour palette here, and I always found that it was really useful to stick that in the front of a workbook, so that's a good little tip. And then I was just going around there drawing some more industrial type things. A little bike there. So again, I was focusing on patterns and details of things, just because I find them really interesting and really beautiful. More wheels and cogs and mechanical things. And again, as you can see, I'd already prepped this book ready to go, so I have obviously the style that I was going for with the image in front. I think if I could go back I would, maybe not to the same uni, but I always said that if I had enough money to pay for the course myself, then I'd definitely go and do a fashion course or textiles, because I'm so passionate about it. I really love it, especially recently. I was watching Next in Fashion on Netflix, and I'm just so in love with it. It made me so passionate to get the sewing machine out again, which is really nice because I really missed sewing, and I've wanted a mannequin for well over a decade, and I think it's definitely time to invest in one because, like I say, I really miss it. And I don't just want the opinions of some snooty old miserable women that worked at the university to put me down and stop doing what I love doing, which was being creative. And I just felt like they completely pushed me out of that. So again, we've got some more patterns. I feel like I just made this video to get stuff off my chest. Like, all I've done is moan about that bloody course. But it's true. So these are just some stencils that I put in over backgrounds and stuff. Like, mostly, not gonna lie, to fill up space, but again, some fabric pieces over different backgrounds. Stencils. And that's all for that book, and then we're on to our very last book, guys. So again, Clockwork, and this is like a photocopy thing that I did. I thought it came out really cool. Again, practicing with different photography of different clock faces. We've got key and then my art behind it, and then I put that on to photocopy. So these are like a bit messy and hectic, but these were like pattern designs that I went over with different patterns as well. So this one you can see you've got the cogs and you've got the keys on top, and then this one you've just got your cogs. I think there's other things laid over as well, like clock faces. So it was just like combining two together. I thought it was really cool. Again, we've got the keys and the cogs here. I thought it was a really unique like pattern design. But like I say, I was never like encouraged to pursue these. I was never like encouraged, or didn't really know what path to take these down because I didn't have that support. Like, this would be super cool if it was on, I don't know, like a coat or something. That would be really cool. So different layering of patterns and styles. So we've got different cogs. We've got maps incorporated onto there, which is really cool. Oh, and I thought this was really cool. So this is just like a plastic bag. I don't know if I heat treated it. I think I did. That's what created this. And then I put this through the scanner, and it's like this really like crispy, shiny looking material. It almost could be silk. It's so weird. It looks so cool. So I was like playing around with animal figures with my pattern on as well. So as you can see, it's like very experimental in this stage. And that is everything. So that is my final project books. And I just wanted to show you guys the garment that I actually made. I still have it. So I literally don't think I've got any pictures of this at uni when it was on the mannequin. So I'll try and lay it out for you guys and show you. If I can find a picture, I will try. Like, I'm definitely going to try. But this is the design that I went for on my fabric. So you can see we've got the, do you call them Roman numerals? That's the word that's in my head, and I'm like, is that right? Is that not right? So I put them on the top part of the garment, and then you can see that I also went for this bird with this like swirly pattern and vintage writing in it. I just thought that was really sweet. Am I happy with this piece? No, not really. Just because I feel like I was pushed into making quick decisions with it, and yeah, I would definitely not do this again. But I'm just going to show you guys that this is the top pattern, and then with the skirt, basically I created, I've not even told you guys, I created a Victorian dress, and it had a, this would be like the corset top, but I didn't bone it or anything because I just wanted it to be quite lightweight. And then this is the bustle skirt at the back. So I don't know how I'm going to show you guys. So along the back for the train, I wanted to incorporate the same fabric as within the top. So that's the train to the skirt. So this is the whole long dress. This would be the top. I can't find that picture, but I might try this on for you guys, and I'll put a picture in now so you can see what it looks like on. But yeah, that was my final piece. So that's basically all of my art from my final project doing my foundation art degree. So I'm really glad that I showed you guys all my sketches and things like that. If you would like to see my whole art portfolio, I can definitely do that for you guys, so let me know down below. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Do give me a big thumbs up if you want to show your support, and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!